Today we are going to read a book that is written both in English and in Spanish. So that makes it bilingual. It's called My Colors, My World. Now that would be the title in English. In Spanish, the title would be Mis Colores, Mi Mundo. So if you look at the page, the words that are written in italics are the Spanish words. And I'm going to do my best to read it to you in Spanish as well. I did major in Spanish in college before I went back into elementary ed, so I can do some, but it's been a while. I'm a little rusty. The genre is realistic fiction. The people and animals in the story will seem real to you, and the places seem real. Sometimes they even are real. They're based on a real place. And the story is about things that didn't really happen, but they could happen. In real life. The essential question I want you to think about is, what colors do you see in your world? What colors do you see in your world? Because she's going to tell you about the colors that she sees in her world. Her colors, her world, right? We're going to use the comprehension strategies, asking and answering questions. And that helps readers think about what they're reading by looking for answers to the questions that they think about when they read. And some of the questions that you might think about are like the who, the what, the when, the why, the where, the how, those kinds of questions. And we're also going to be using the clarifying strategy. And that helps you better understand what you're reading by stopping and figuring out anything that's confusing. All right. So let's go ahead and start reading My Colors, My World, Mis Colores, Mi Mundo by Maya Cristina Gonzalez. Sometimes in the desert where I live, the wind blows very, very hard. All right. Is anybody confused about anything in the story or the illustrations? Well, I was looking and these brown curve things caught my eye. Those brown curves, you can't, in a still picture, you can't see the wind blow, but those brown curves are supposed to make you understand that the wind is blowing very hard. So they're trying to draw the wind, even though the wind is really invisible. All right, let's go ahead. We'll read it in Español. A veces en el desierto donde vivo, el viento sopla muy, muy fuerte. Desert sand covers everything the same color. La arena del desierto lo cubre todo, todo parece del mismo color. I open my eyes extra wide to find the colors in my world. Abro bien los ojos para encontrar los colores de mi mundo. All right, so let's think about any questions that we might have as we're reading these pages, because we're going to practice our asking questions strategy. Maybe you'll be thinking, what color will the girl see in her world? And the answers right now are brown, right? Brown. She sees brown because she lives in the desert and sand covers everything. Of all the colors I find, I like hot pink the best. It's the color of the desert sunset. All right, so there's another answer to your question, pink, right? De todos estos colores, el color que más me gusta es el rosa. Es el color de la puesta del sol. So exactly the same thing. I'm saying it in Spanish, exactly the same thing that I read to you in English. I wear pink in the morning. I wear it in the afternoon. I wear it all the time. Now, what I just read to you in English, I will now say it in Spanish, but it means exactly the same thing. Llevo puesto el color rosa por la mañana. Yo llevo puesto por la tarde. Yo llevo puesto todos los días. On hot days, I go to the shady side of the house. I make mud pies with squishy brown mud and orange marigold flowers. So there's some more answers to your questions of what colors she might find in her world. She found brown mud and orange flowers, right? Cuando hace calor, voy al lado sombreado de la casa. Hago pasteles con el lodo suave, de color marrón y con cayéndolos anaranjadas. I invite purple irises to be my guest for tea. Yellow pollen peeks at me. Now, wait a minute. I'm going to stop here for a little bit of clarifying. So it says, I invite purple irises to be my guest. What do you think irises are? If you look at that illustration, we see that the irises are flowers and the yellow pollen peeks at her. Do you see the yellow pollen in those flowers? So sometimes when you see something or hear a word that you don't know, you can look at the illustrations and that will help to clarify that. Invito a los lirios colores violeta a merendar. El polón amarillo no me deja de mirar. Back on the sunny side of the house, the cactus grow green and sharp. En el lado soleado de la casa, el cacto crece verde y afilado. In the backyard, I sway on my swing. I help my poppy build it and paint it the perfect shade of red. All right. So does anybody see any words on this page that they might not know what they mean? Maybe this word sway, which means to move back and forth, or maybe this word poppy. I help my poppy. I wonder if I keep reading if my question will be answered as who is her poppy? So she helped her poppy build it and paint it the perfect shade of red. The perfect shade of red. En el patio me meso en el columpio. Ayude a mi papi a construirlo y a pintarlo de la tono de roja perfecto. All right. So when my papi comes home from work, I see his shiny black hair. Cuando mi papi vuelve a la casa del trabajo, veo su pelo negro y brillante. Now, it hasn't told us who Poppy is, but I think I might have a guess. I think Poppy might be her dad. Do you think so? I think that might be the answer to that question that I was asking. I love all the colors in my world. Every day I watch the hot pink sky turn into dark blue night. Now, my question is, what time of day do you see a pink sky? Probably in the morning, sometimes at night. So when the sun is rising or when the sun is setting, and you see like a light blue sky during the day and a dark blue sky at night. Me encantan todos los colores de mi mundo. Cada día veo el cielo rosada convertirse en noche azul. All right. So let's take a look at some of the vocabulary words here. Let me go back and find. There it is. Now, the first word is going to be extra. And she says, I opened my eyes extra wide to find the colors in her world. So let's check out the word extra. I'm going to make sure that the volume is way up so that you'll be able to hear it very well.
Extra. More than usual. You may keep my extra blue crayon. I have another. Extra.
Okay, so extra simply means more than usual. So when she opens her eyes extra wide, she opens them wider than usual. And wide is actually your next vocabulary word.
Wide. Fully opened. Hold the door open wide. Wide.
So in this case, wide means fully opened. All right, so her eyes are fully opened and maybe even a little extra wide when she's looking at the colors in her world. And our last vocabulary word is the word world.
World. An area in which one lives. Earth is the world where we all live. World.
All right, so world is the area that we live. Earth is our world. Did you hear me say the word mundo a lot of times? Because mundo means world in Spanish. So you heard me say in de mi mundo, it means in my world. All right, I will be sure to include your discussion starters for you and your big person, and hopefully I did okay with that Spanish pronunciation. And you enjoyed hearing the story in 2 different languages.